Baseball is back. Finally, we no longer have to talk about union squabbles. We don't have to talk about collective bargaining agreements, at least not in a couple weeks, because we have to start with how this deal went down. Joining me now from Locked On Reds, Jeff Carr. And Jeff, 99 days, the players were locked out. We have a ratified CBA, 162 game season that will start April 7th. How did this all come together?
99 days and what feels like 99 deadlines, Peter. I think they kept moving the goalposts every single time we thought the goalposts were set. But here we are. We're getting a full season. There will be pre-COVID rules when it comes to 9-inning doubleheaders. There's no more 7-inning doubleheader stuff. Universal DH throughout the National League and the American League. And there won't be any more runners on second during extra innings. It's very nice to see all of this stuff. We're talking about baseball as it was before 2020, including the fact that they're letting reporters into the clubhouse again. We're not going to have Zoom chats and things like that. And it all kind of came down after the report was in that the players had agreed to a tentative setup to plan an international draft. They have until July 25th to figure that out. And if they can figure that out, there's no more qualifying offer when it comes to free agency.
So from a fan's perspective, outside looking in, because fans, they did not get to be in on these negotiations. They were not in the room. They were not in Florida for all of those contentious discussions. How has the game changed for them? Because hearing you lay all that stuff out, and as I was reading through the articles about this, I'm going, I don't know, it seems like baseball is better now than it was, say, 3 months ago. What is your perspective on how this changes the game for fans?
That's what I've loved the most, Peter, is that looking at this for the last couple of months, it's been like, all right, are the players going to get a good size of the piece of pie here? Are the owners going to get one over on the players again? How's this all going to work out? And it just felt like we were being left out in the cold. But now there's a draft lottery. Now they're trying to get teams to be more decisive when it comes to their postseason runs by expanding the postseason. And we can talk about the merits of adding more playoff teams on another day, but at the end of the day, they wanted to see more small market, mid-market teams in on the action when it comes to the postseason. So yeah, the CBT was, the competitive balance tax was a sticking point for a lot of people, but at the end of this, the numbers just get pushed aside and we say we finally got baseball a little bit closer to what we're hoping for. Did we get a salary cap? No. Did we get a salary floor? No. But everything else that they have agreed to has really provided at least the potential for a much better product in 2022.
I don't want this to get lost. Universal DH. This is something that has been debated in baseball for what feels like centuries, Jeff. How does this change? It feels like the competitive balance between the NL and AL is affected by this. The roster management in the National League is going to have to be shifted in a significant way. What do you see as the impact of this? Because to me, it seems seismic.
It is ginormous for a team like the Reds, who are looking at the expiring career of Joey Votto. They have a third baseman who they tried out at second base, and he just hasn't been healthy for the last year and a half or so, Mike Moustakas, who could be a helpful player as a DH. And you also have a really good bat who happens to play catcher, which is a position that doesn't tend to last very long as a professional career, in Tyler Stevenson, that all can now be extended. And that's just from the Reds' perspective. You think of different players who, once they hit a certain point in their career, everybody's like, they're not picking up a glove again, they're going to the American League. That's not happening anymore because the market is now no longer limited to a guy who maybe most front offices don't feel is a good defender. And I think that is just absolutely awesome. I mean, you look from the Red Sox perspective, and JD Martinez, their trade market just doubled in size. I mean, they might actually trade him now instead of holding on to him to see, well, maybe we can make another run with him. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with a lot of designated hitters. I think most National League teams probably don't go into 2022 with a designated hitter. but maybe a couple of years down the road. But I love it. I absolutely love the designated hitter because I think pitchers as a whole hit a $156 last year. That's not getting people to tune in to him on television.